Hi, this is Joe from PrepAgent. I'm here with my friend Mary Nazarian from California. She just passed her exam 2 weeks ago. Sorry guys if I look a little dark. It's at night right now, but I really wanted to talk to Mary, and this is the time she had available. So my lighting's a little off, but nonetheless, her lighting is great. You look like a pro. So take it away. Share with us your wisdom about the exam.
Well, first of all, why I chose PrepAgent, I want to start from there. Because a few years ago, when we sold our condominium and we bought this new house, we had a very terrible agent. And we have a saying in our language that a terrible landlord will force you become a landlord, because you're forced to buy your own. So that's what happened with our agent. She didn't know much, although she had been in this business for many years, but there were so many things she didn't know, and I had to do research and found out and say, hey, you're wrong on this, and you're wrong on that. And gradually I learned a lot about buying and selling houses. And so I thought, well, I would like to know everything, the law. And when I signed up at a school and started learning, but there was not much they were teaching, because the instructor would just go through the questions and just read and pass without. It was like what you said a while ago, that it's like a foreign language. I feel like I'm in a country that I can't understand a thing they are saying. And since English is my third language, it wasn't easy to begin with. And now another language, another terminology. Although I already have my career, I'm in nutrition and also biological medicine, and I do musculoskeletal alignment. And I had my
all the certificates behind you.
Yeah, everybody was surprised why I'm learning this, but I just got so interested in knowing about real estate. Anyhow, I tried the school, it didn't work. Then I went online and started doing some research, and on YouTube I saw Joe, and the way you were teaching was what attracted me, because I had been a teacher for many years myself. So I knew that this is the technique that will help me. I understand that. So I started learning it. And to be honest, I didn't have much time because of my job taking a lot of my time. But what I did, I watched every webinar, and I listened to anything you had on either YouTube or on audio and your website. I signed up, and while I was doing my ironing, I was doing my exercises, and between the clients and patients, I would just listen to them again, and then I took every advice you had given, like taking notes. I almost filled out two notebooks.
Sorry, keep going.
And that's how I learned it. And then I chose few words that were hard for me, especially law, like different acts that were there, Sherman, so and so. And I would just repeat it while driving and connect it to a funny word in my own language, if not in English, in my own language, and that would help me. Like when you said that stud or dust, I would say, well, dust has no value. So, connect it to value. Okay, right. So that's for the value and things like that. And then I took the exam just to see how it is. I was almost sure I wouldn't pass. So I took your advice again. I filled my car with gas. I went there early and made sure I had enough food and water, everything. And there I met, funny enough, Joe, I met quite a few people there. One of them was also signed up with PrepAgent. There were two young guys, and a brother and a sister, that their father was a broker from our area, Glendale area, and they had been in this business for many years, they said, helping the father with many things. And this was their third time taking the test, but they hadn't studied with PrepAgent, so that's the difference. So what they did, they were so sure, overconfident. that they would pass because they had been in the business, but they failed twice, and this was their third time taking the test. And they said, "Well, it's completely different thing to learn, to the exam by with what they do as with their father was a broker and so forth." Anyhow, overconfidence didn't was a minus for them. But I took your advice and I learned the way you said, and then I didn't worry about the exam. So while taking the exam, I thought, well, I just want to know how it is. That's okay if I don't pass. So I took notes of the ones that I didn't know, and your voice was in my ears for sure. So many of them said, this is how Joe said it, and there were about 10 of them that I put aside, and then I went back because there is a lot of time. You can go back and check. And I checked, and I thought, well, if I don't even pass those 10, that's fine. And I was surprised when I passed, to be honest with you. When they said, congratulations, you passed, I said, wow, I don't believe this, but I did. And yeah, that's what happened. And others were surprised to see things because we are of our age, as we grow less young, and we think that, well, maybe I can't do this. It's too much for me, and it's for young ones. But it's not true. More we learn, more we are using our brain and our neurons, and it's easier to connect, especially if you know different languages. You can make it close to something. And one thing that also helped me, Joe, was to translate, to use the same word to translate it, not only know the definition in English, but also know the definition in my own language. Because then that made that sound right to me. That, oh, now I know, yeah, we were doing this also in our country. I was going like that. Then and also I tried to look at the images of anything, like mayors versus, what was it? Mayors versus what?
Jones versus Mayer.
Jones versus Mayer. And I went online and looked at the pictures, who they were, what happened, why, with the history. Once you know the history, it makes it much easier. Then it sticks in your mind. Oh, who they were.
Also, the history is actually interesting too. If you really look it up, it's actually interesting to learn.
So what has helped me so far, at least I did a refinancing. Now I know what not to worry. I wish I knew all this when we were selling our condominium and buying this, because so many things that worried us and time, and we were deceived, I would say, because our agent didn't show that fiduciary act, and I would know. And there were things we didn't know about this house, about the termites, about so many things that the appraiser said, his inspector said they're all right, but they were not. And I didn't even know I could sue them for that, and file a complaint. But anyhow, now I know. So if I have to, I don't know if I will work as an agent. I will do it maybe part-time as a side job for now, but I might end up liking it, doing it. At least I know what it is all about. And when friends already are asking, I can give them the right advice of where to go, what to do. And there is a broker also that is a very nice guy. I talked to him yesterday, and he said he will help me with any question. I can text him, and until if I decide to become his agent, and we'll go from there.
So there's 3 takeaways I got from listening to you, which are great. 1, people who don't speak English as a first language should not be afraid, because obviously there's a lot of people who don't speak English as their primary language who get very scared, and for good reason. I totally understand. But you're saying if you go out the right way, you can actually use it to your advantage as a way to relearn things. Putting in your own language can really help it sink in just by kind of looking at the words in a different way. So that's number 1. 2, don't let age scare you, right?
That's true.
that was the other big thing is I know a lot of people will say, well, I'm too old for this, too old for this. Nonsense, you know. You're still kicking and, you know, then you're able to study. And the third big thing is you could find relevance in what you actually do. Because so many people procrastinate studying because they say, well, it's not relevant to what I actually do. And I'll agree, there's parts of it's not, but there's also parts of that are. And there's things that you can take interest in, and you can make this relevant and interested if you actually, you know, dive into it and enjoy the process a little bit. So
Exactly.
correct me if
Well,
I'm wrong, but those are the three big takeaways from what I'm hearing.
Matthew, I could be of help. But two questions that I remember stuck with me
Oh,
that I
okay.
didn't answer. One was the Williamson Act, and I looked up later on that it has to do with land that you buy, but you don't build anything for about 10 years or so. I had no idea about that. And the second was the minimum size of a master bedroom. I never thought about it, that the master bedroom in California has a minimum size. That was weird. I still haven't found the right answer for that,
Right.
but
I'll have to look that up and find that.
that's quite interesting. But if anyone, that takes the test and can remember one or two of those points that the other know too, it's for any test I have taken. I've been a teacher for many years, so I love to learn and take exams. And anytime I have done that, even if I haven't used that license or that certificate, but it has given me insight into so many things that when we're with friends and we talk, then I know what I'm talking about, what it is all about, and it helps me in maybe small things. So it's not like, okay, if I'm not sure if I will do this as a career, so why should I take the exam? You still learn it. You never know. I've learned hairdressing. I've learned to make. I have certificate for making carpets that I haven't used, but made things at home. But so many other tests I've taken, but they are all helping, and you feel good too that you have accomplished something.
That is true. And now you've helped a lot of people, everybody watching, because I love doing this, people such as yourself, because so many people are scared. And it's so relatable when they hear somebody like you share their experience. So I truly appreciate it. And thank you so much. And promise me you'll keep in touch.
We sure will. If you come to this area, Glendale area, let me know. I'll invite you to some Persian and Armenian food.
Right there on Brand Avenue, right?
Well, there is on Broadway has a very good one too. A good restaurant, Persian restaurant on Broadway and close to Brand. Yeah.
I will do that for sure. Thank you so much. And this is Joe from PrepAgent with Maryam Nazarian. And, talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.